Stress. We've all felt it. That tightness in your chest before a big presentation, the racing heart when you narrowly avoid an accident. Stress is a fundamental human experience, a physiological response to challenges and threats. It's deeply ingrained in our biology, a legacy from our ancestors who relied on these stress responses for survival. In essence, stress is our body's way of saying, hey, something's up. We need to be ready for action. Imagine encountering a tiger in the wild. Your stress response kicks in, flooding your body with hormones like adrenaline. Your heart pounds, your breathing quickens, and your muscles tense up, preparing you to either fight the tiger or flee for your life. This fight or flight response is incredibly useful in acute situations, providing us with the energy and focus we need to face immediate danger. However, in the modern world, we rarely face tigers or other life-threatening situations on a daily basis. Yet, our stress response hasn't quite caught up with this reality. We experience stress in response to a wide range of triggers, from work deadlines and traffic jams to social pressures and financial worries. These stressors, while not life-threatening, can activate the same physiological pathways, leading to a cascade of hormonal and bodily changes. And here's the catch. When stress becomes chronic, a constant companion in our daily lives, it begins to have detrimental effects on our physical and mental well-being. Our bodies weren't designed to be in a constant state of fight or flight. Chronic stress takes a toll, like a car running on high RPMs for too long. While short-term stress can be beneficial, providing us with a burst of energy and focus when we need it most, chronic stress is a different beast altogether. Imagine a rubber band stretched taut for days on end. Eventually, it loses its elasticity and becomes brittle, prone to snapping. Similarly, chronic stress wears down our bodies, leaving us vulnerable to a host of health problems. One of the key players in the stress response is a hormone called cortisol. When we encounter a stressor, our adrenal glands release cortisol into the bloodstream. This surge of cortisol helps us cope with the challenge at hand, increasing blood sugar levels to provide energy and suppressing non-essential functions like digestion and growth. In the short term, this is a helpful adaptation. However, chronically elevated cortisol levels can wreak havoc on our health. Think of cortisol as a powerful but potentially damaging tool. In small, controlled doses, it helps us manage challenges. But when cortisol levels remain high for prolonged periods, it starts to have negative consequences. It's like using a hammer for everything. Eventually, you're going to cause some damage. Chronic stress and the accompanying surge in cortisol can disrupt almost every system in our bodies. It's like a domino effect, with one imbalance triggering another, from increasing the risk of heart disease and diabetes to impairing our immune system and even accelerating the aging process. Chronic stress is a silent threat that can undermine our health in insidious ways. Let's delve deeper into how chronic stress impacts specific systems within our bodies. We'll start with the cardiovascular system, the heart and blood vessels that work tirelessly to circulate blood throughout our bodies. When we experience stress, our heart rate and blood pressure increase. This is helpful in the short term, providing our muscles with the oxygen and nutrients they need to respond to a threat. However, under chronic stress, this constant elevation in heart rate and blood pressure puts a strain on our cardiovascular system. Imagine a garden hose with the water constantly running at full blast. Over time, the pressure can damage the hose, leading to leaks and weakening its structure. Similarly, chronic stress can damage our blood vessels, making them more susceptible to inflammation and the buildup of plaque, a condition known as atherosclerosis. Now, let's shift our focus to the digestive system, responsible for breaking down food and absorbing nutrients. When we're stressed, our digestive processes are often put on hold. Remember the fight or flight response? Our bodies prioritize immediate survival over non-essential functions like digestion. This can lead to a range of digestive issues, from indigestion and heartburn to more serious conditions like irritable bowel syndrome, IBS. Chronic stress can also impact our weight. When we're stressed, our bodies release cortisol, which can increase our appetite, particularly for sugary and fatty foods. These comfort foods provide a temporary sense of relief from stress, but they can contribute to weight gain over time. Moreover, stress can lead to an increase in visceral fat, the type of fat that accumulates around our organs and is linked to an increased risk of chronic diseases like heart disease and type 2 diabetes. It's clear that chronic stress can have a profound impact on our health and well-being. But the good news is that we are not powerless against it. The key to a healthy life is not to avoid stress altogether, which is practically impossible, but to manage our stress responses effectively. It's about learning to navigate the challenges of life in a way that minimizes their negative impact on our bodies. One of the most effective ways to manage stress is to reframe our perspective. When we view challenges as insurmountable threats, our stress response goes into overdrive. But when we perceive those same challenges as opportunities for growth or learning experiences, our stress response becomes more manageable. It's about shifting our mindset from "I can't handle this" to "I've got this, and even if I stumble, I'll learn from it." This essay, inspired by the content available at insert YouTube link, has explored the multifaceted nature of stress. We've delved into the science behind stress, examining its physiological effects and how it can impact various systems within our bodies. But most importantly, we've highlighted that stress management is not about avoiding stress altogether, but about developing healthy coping mechanisms and reframing our perspective to view challenges as opportunities for growth.